live. You have the footage?
I will get it now.
Okay. You all set?
Okay, I can see you now.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So I will do the normal thing, wait for 1,000 people and take off.
Okay, no problem.
All right. Thanks. Okay, good evening, fellow Ambazonians. I'm excited to be here with you again. As usual, I am going to take a few minutes to wait until we can populate the broadcast with an audience. So as usual, when you join, please share the link. There are people who are waiting for this broadcast, and I'm coming in a little bit late, almost 30 minutes late. And please, there are people that I know should be joining in. As you join, help them know that I am here, that the broadcast is about to start, by sharing the link to every platform that you can. I have some very, very exciting announcement to make here tonight. If you are in Ground Zero or in Europe or maybe even in Asia, I know it's night there or evening there right now. In the US, still just 2:30 or 2:28 p.m. Here in the US. But if you are in Ground Zero, if you are in Asia, in Europe, I know it's probably in the evening. So please, I have some very, very, very important decision announcements to bring to you here today. So if you are joining in, share the link and also let me know that you are getting the audio. Let me also know that the audio is good enough, that you can hear me, you can listen to me as you watch. So again, thank you and good evening to those in Ground Zero. Good evening if you are joining us from any part of the world, in Asia, in Europe. Good evening to you. This is going to be one of those exciting presentations or broadcasts. So please share the link. I will wait again when we hit 1,000 people, which I expect us to do in 10 minutes. In 10 minutes, I expect us to hit 1,000 people in 10 minutes for me to begin this broadcast proper. We are already over 200 people. Over 200 people in 3 minutes. Please share the link on your Facebook groups. Share the links on your WhatsApp groups so that wherever they are, they may tune in. Share the link on your Twitter. Share the link on every social media platform that you have. Let's populate the audience so that I can take off the broadcast proper. Again, I come to you with some very, very important interim government decision announcements, and I would love to have everyone here, at least more than half of the audience, before I bring you that information. In the meantime, I'd like to know where you're joining in from. Let me know where you're joining in from, your name, your location, and if you have any comment, that is fine too. Drop your comment, let me know what you think about the broadcast, about the quality. And please do not forget, as you join, we want to hit that miracle number 1,000, and I will start the broadcast proper. So share the link. We're almost 300 now, waiting for 700 to go. Share the link as I see who is joining. Christian Chenwe. Yes, the sound is clear and loud. Thank you. I also see Jezo Jehan. Hello, our able secretary. Thank you. Anglo Amber Join. Fonga Juan Fredo, watching from Azi. For real? That is interesting. Where do you have electricity and internet in Azi? But glad to know you are watching. Thank you very much. Baji Zonia. Ajumesi Joseph John. Please grow the numbers. We are over 300 people watching right now. Once we hit the 1,000 number, I will begin this broadcast proper. So please share the link. I see Ferdinand Mongo. I see Humble Queen. I see Kafibe Jewel. I also see Bita Kola Mbengwi in the house. Wow. Ekombe Mbonji. And I see Uchiba Achundo. Jackson Asa. Watching, he says, from the Netherlands. I also see Paul Venue. Say, hello, brother. Yes, thank you. God bless. Jackson Asa. Say, welcome, sir. Thank you. Chris Bongam. Yeah, my able military guy. God bless you. I also see Marco Indile watching. Thank you. Peter Junior Tako. I say he just joined. In Giaze Jerome. Joining in from Dubai. I see Intem Nika also joined. Please, let's get the numbers grow, the audience to grow. Grow the audience. We are almost hitting 400 people. We are not moving at the rate at which I want us to fill the audience. So please, if you are joining right now, feed the audience by sharing the link. Share it on your Facebook groups, platforms, WhatsApp platforms, Twitter platforms. Share the link wherever you know people will watch and people will click to join. We have 400 people right now. We have 400 people right now and 600 to go. So please, if you are joining, do me a favor and share the link. I see Martins Indu. I also see watching from Abuja. I see Mojoko platform. Okay. I see Haya Maker. Hello, our spokesman. Thank you. Renato Obala. It says thank. And I see Inter Papi Joe. Don't know where he's coming in from. I see Peter Monyongo watching from Maryland. I see Foga Joe Alfredo. I think I mentioned that already. I also see Mungri Paul. I see Makoge Charles. Charles says, we hear you, guy. Thank you. Kafibe Joel is also watching. And I see Kuku Dablings. Yes, sister, God bless you. I see Renato Obala watching in from London. I see Diodone Tumenta. Just John, Niba Azabu. Hello, he says from Dubai. Please, we need to hit 1,000 as soon as possible. We're almost hitting 500 right now. So please, as you join, share the link, share the link. There are many people out there who need to know that I am on. They don't know yet. Please send the links to them. Let them join us so that I can bring you the presentation proper. And as I said a few minutes ago, I have some very important decision announcements that I bring to you today. You will love it. This revolution is moving forward. This revolution is moving on. The devil will not stop us. La République cannot stop us. Bia cannot stop us. We will rather stop him. He is old enough not to be where he is, not to be in the position that he is right now. So please, you want to get the announcement and the message, share the link. Once we hit 1,000 people, I will come with the broadcast proper. I see Rich Kid Moody says, I'm watching from Douala, Colonial Territory. Thank you. I also see Kabinda Yevala. I don't know where he's joining from. I see Christoph Messner. Thank you, sir, all the way from Germany, a good fan. I see Cody. He says, I hear you, Ambazonia. Thank you. Tina Ikome, watching from Germany. Thank you. I see Kemi Ashu. I know where she's joining in from. God bless you. I see Mobawat Isiaka. Mary Sonel says San Francisco. All right. Please keep the numbers growing. We're almost hitting 600 people right now, and I don't like the pace at which the numbers are growing. It's over 10 minutes. We haven't hit 700 yet. Please do me a favor. Share the link as you join. If everybody here would share the link, I believe we would be hitting 1,000 by now. So please do me a favor, share the link as you join. I see Moes Tiny joining in all the way here, right here in Texas. Ingo Julius, kudos, bro. Thank you. I see Ajumesi Joseph. Say hello. Thank you. Hello, sir. Yurish Gambi. Renato Obala. Thank you for saying hello, hello. Bruno asks. He says, watching from Boya. That is the Federal Capital Territory. Thank you, sir. Felicia Oben is watching. I also see Perpetua Binwe. Says, great. I see Ngulefe Chalala watching live. Thank you for coming. Thank you. Thank you for watching. I also see and don't do Fred Agane. I see Desmond Fon join. I see Olivia Tegan. Yeah, she is one of the popular fans here. I see her all the time. God bless you. Chigozi Namdi Oscar is also watching. And he says, no power can stop you, sir. Thank you very much. You are very, 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 very correct. Not even beer will stop me. And I can assure you, no detractors would stop me. The skin is too thick to be stopped. And no detractors will be able to stop me. Thank you for that observation. I said, Mami Alice, say, you are doing a great job, Chris. Thank you, ma'am. God bless you. I see Terry Apopo. Thank you, sir, for joining. The Claw joining in from Belgium. We're having about we're having a little over 700 people right now on the screen. Please, I mean it when I say it, that I have some very, very important announcements, decision announcements to bring to you today. So please don't be stingy, don't be selfish. Share the link as you sit behind that screen, watching and listening to me. Share the link. Let's get 1,000 people, and I will begin the broadcast proper. I see Mary Baba. Say, watching from Maryland. Trinidad, Bringanza, watching from Boya Moliko. Thank you. I also see Atumo Marcel has joined. I see Dro Lee Magnifique. Wow, that's a jaw-breaking name there. Catherine Tekum is watching from Berlin, Germany. I see Engineer Derek has joined. Marie Wiley, say, joining in from Los Angeles. We have close to 800 people now. Please, I'm pleading with you, share the link. And it's still 2 minutes right now since I was here, and we haven't hit 1,000 yet. This is a little slow. I don't like the pace. Please share the link as you join. I see Humble King joining in from Toronto. Desmond Fong joining in from Washington, D.C. And I see Chris Inkewat also joined. Cyprian Chris joined in from Berlin. I believe it's Berlin, Germany. I see Indam Edna joining in from Ground Zero. Thank you, ma'am. God bless you. Peter Indula is there. Zero Lankena has joined. Maseche Ban. He says, Paul. Oh, I missed that. Kevin Basang joined. Sona Van Sofex is there. Ayugo, I think I missed that. Mirabe Bidvala has joined. I also see E.T. Henry, Fedina Mongo. He says, we are proud of you, watching you from Dubai, sir. Thank you, sir. I see prayers, amen. Thank you, sir. Ekombe Mbonji. He says, good evening, brother Chris. Where is that? I missed the location. We are over 800 people watching right now. Over 800 people watching right now. Less than 200 to go. Please remember, the people in Ground Zero are watching on SCBC television, and I believe they hate seeing me come sitting over here and telling you to join before they can start listening to what I have to say. So please save them. I also know they are very understanding, but let's give everybody a fair chance. This is a revolution. SCBC is not into show business. It is information, education, and that's exactly what we want to do here as far as this revolution is concerned. So please, again, one more time, if you are just joining, try to share the link. WhatsApp, Twitter, Facebook, email, wherever anything is shareable, please do share. I got some great announcements coming to you in a short while. We are almost 900 people watching right now, and I'm waiting for less than 140 to go. So please, thank you for sharing. And if you are joining, keep on sharing, keep on sharing, keep on sharing. And God bless. Abong Joel watching from Cyprus. And I see again Lovisco watching from Unity Palace. Well, I hope it is not a Unity Palace I'm thinking of. I see the dialogue. Oh, I missed that. Amenzi Zeus watching, Monju Zilos watching, Afu watching, Paddy King, King John Jesus, say watching from Ireland, Nkem Asong watching or joining. I see Ikombe Mbonji. I see Harley Ashu or Ashu joining, Ojong Mire joining. I says, God bless you, Chris. Weaver Daily, he says, hello, man, God bless. I see Aisha Ann, I know you. Thanks for tuning in. I also see Mojoko platform. I say Interim Government Secretary Mr. Chris Ano, please launch a campaign for a 100. I thought I missed that. You know the screen is rolling, so I can't. If there is so much text, I can only read so much text on the name. Fisher King is here. It says, my trip to boya.com. Get there and pay your dues, make your donation. We are almost 1,000 people watching right here, right now on Facebook. And I know we have probably a million others watching from Ground Zero. And for those of you watching from Ground Zero, please, these announcements are very, very, very important and address 90% to you. If you can invite somebody to sit on that television set with you to take these announcements, to listen to these announcements, it will serve you and it will serve them. So please call your neighbors, call your friends, let them listen to these announcements. Very, very, very important. They are just an indication that we are taking this revolution to another level. We are getting to the delivery level, and we are making decisions, making choices that take us just there. Again, we have hit the 1,000 people mark right here, right now on Facebook. And I still want to acknowledge a few people who have just arrived. Renato Obala is here. Anna, says, hi, thank you, hi. Akime Son said, I'm watching from South Africa, Cape Town. Thank you very much. Ambazonia, Southern Cameroon, Belgium, SCB, Belgium is watching. And I also see JZ John watching, he says, from Turkey. I also see Ekena Woinkom. I don't know where she's watching from. I see Claude Engang says watching from Texas. I see Tenola George. I see Otuge Dennis. Good evening, big brother. We're very happy for you. Thank you. I'm happy for you too for standing with the revolution. I see Ayisi has joined. I hope this is not the Ayisi that I know. Tata Ngoe watching from Oxford, United Kingdom. Thank you, sir. Nixon Madinwa Ambazonia has joined. And they also have Abong Joel, Akum George, Olivia taking. I've mentioned that. Brownie Eric. Okay, Listen, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your patience and thank you for waiting this long. I have no other reason to keep you waiting for this broadcast. And I have to go straight to it. We have hit the 1,000 mark, and I will have to take you straight into the broadcast. But remember to keep on sharing as you join. And please, for those of you in Ground Zero, invite somebody. Fellow Ambazonians, I bring you revolutionary greetings from your interim government. The pregnancy stage of our revolution is speedily making way for delivery, and it is looking as if ours may be a premature or precipitated delivery. And this isn't coming to us as a surprise. History tells us that when a people are progressively oppressed and their inalienable rights and freedoms taken from them or denied them, they will fight to retain those rights and freedoms by all means, even with their lives. All over our territory, from the remotest villages and towns to the cities of Kumba, Bamenda, Kumbo, and the rest, and across all of Ambazonia, men and women denied jobs and denied education by the annexationist regime in Yaounde, fuming with frustration, are rising in their thousands by the week to volunteer to free and to defend Ambazonia. Yet, they make up only a very tiny fraction of the 2 little cubes of sugar that were supposed to have dissolved long ago. The 2 cubes of sugar were supposed to have dissolved to pave way for the complete obliteration of our identity, our people, and a permanent takeover of our territory, Ambazonia. Fellow Ambazonians, because we didn't bargain for this war, we didn't declare this war, we must, on a daily basis as we wake up in the morning, give praise and thanks to God for the victories we have seen, and for those He is yet to deliver into our hands. God has proven that He is on our side in this war. Why we certainly appear before Paul Biya looking like David, and Paul Biya's troops looking like the biblical Goliath. God in His sovereignty, God has the final say in every matter under the sun. God, who has the final say in every matter under the sun, is making the trained French Cameroon soldiers to vanish from our Davids like chickens. Yes, take this from me. La République du Cameroon soldiers dread our tattered-looking yet smart and resilient young men and women who continue to spend sleepless nights under the rain and sun, defending our territory and defending our freedoms. These young men and women, they are the ones that few weeks ago, the colonial governors in Bamenda and in Boya deprived of the only way they knew and had to earn a living for themselves. They refused to let them go to school by refusing to withdraw their soldiers or their troops from our streets. And they were given an ultimatum not to ride the famous Okada through which they earn a living. In places where they were not totally banned from operating or riding, they were told they can only operate within certain given hours of the day. but refusing to live in their own land with chains all over them. Since resolved, or they have since resolved, to lay down everything in defiance of the colonial authorities to defend their rights and to live free. And within the shortest time, they have proven beyond any doubt that they are the wittiest and smartest defenders of the revolution in our homeland Ambazonians could ever dream of. And for that, the interim government of Ambazonia, on the behalf of all Ambazonians, salute your courage and your bravery. Ambazonians, both in the diaspora and at home, can never forget your bravery, your courage, and your resilience. Our land awaits your statues to be erected on squares in public places all over Ambazonia in remembrance of your service for our independence and, of course, for our country. Every Ambazonian, born and unborn, owes you for your sacrifice. For there is no way we get to Boya without you. Your resilience and skills have become so evident and yielding such fruit that even the trained army of La République du Cameroon no longer has the courage and determination to confront or face you. And so, as a result, Yaounde has descended so low, descended so low, so cowardly, that instead of confronting you, they are walking about, burning people's homes and businesses, and they have devised other tactics with which to track you down. Of course, that one too is failing. That one too is not succeeding. Fellow Ambazonians, rest assured that this interim government has your backs covered. We are looking out for you. We would thus like to bring to your attention today a number of plots that La République du Cameroun has schemed aimed at entrapping you and, of course, our self-defense boys. The interim government has gathered some intelligence that is beginning to confirm how desperate and frustrated and how low that Paul Biya, his army, and the French government would have to go to keep the southern Cameroons under their annexation. The scheme involves burning down of towns and villages where the ragtag La République du Cameroun soldiers cannot find their prey. A meeting of the Cameroon Military Council took place in Yaounde 2 weeks ago, and one of the things they agreed upon was to allow the soldiers they sent to our territory to shoot to kill anything that moves or that approaches them. They also agreed that where their soldiers come under attack, any form of attack or any form of danger, they should have the right to retaliate, and retaliate by burning down any homes and shops in the community. This explains why in the past 1 week we have seen horrible crime scenes where towns upon towns and villages upon villages are put on fire by soldiers belonging to La République du Cameroun. In towns like Monyange, in Mbalangi, Azi, and many others, almost everything has been burned down. And in some cases, children and the disabled, handicapped, have been burned alive in those homes. In SCBC, for example, where a live footage of a French Cameroon soldier is seen pouring gasoline at a market square, on buildings in a market square. The front of Fontaine's palace was also set on fire by invading French Cameroon soldiers. Still in Libya, precisely in Imver, this other story is quite compelling. Mr. Tindongmo Pierre was in his early 40s and a resident of Minji, as we were told, a nurse by profession at the Mary Her of Africa Health Center in Fontaine. He had served there. He had served in that hospital, we learned, for close to 20 years. He was one of those who truly loved his profession. He truly loved what he did for a living. He served the sick. After the raid on Libya recently, his family fled and took refuge in neighboring Chang. But he refused to leave, given the fact that he is a lifesaver by profession. And in war times, dedicated nurses continue to give life, he taught. He stayed back home and braved trekking from his house to work every day amidst such high insecurity in the area. At gunpoint, he remained very motivated, cleaning wounds of the casualties in the hospital from the military by the military. It is reported that he was on duty on Monday and Tuesday, May the 1st. However, leaving work that Tuesday on his way home, he was caught by the soldiers. The soldiers he had treated in the hospital, in the same hospital. He was blindfolded, then taken to a barracks in the presence of the Colonial City Divisional Officer, newly installed. He was interrogated, then tortured, both legs broken, injured left and right of his body. At about 5 p.m., the military vans passed the hospital gate at full speed. Little did he know they were transporting, little did we know they were transporting our colleagues' corpse, where they dumped at a football field. An eyewitness, one of the nurses in the hospital, said, and she continued, I heard gunshots at the same time they were disposing the corpse. Another witness confirmed. I ran into the bushes when I saw them passing, says another villager who witnessed the incident. And the story continues. The military sources have said that Tindongmo Pierre was tortured because he refused to collaborate with them by telling them who the wounded in the hospital are. Of course, in their imagination, they thought the wounded in the hospitals were restoration boys, so they could go and take them away. Because torture wounds were all over him, the soldiers became afraid that should they let him go, he would expose them. And so they killed him before dumping his remains in the field. All over Ambazonia, in Bello, in Muyange, in Bafia, Mbalangi, Kumba, Ekona, Moyuka, stories like this one have become a daily occurrence. When they are not burned alive or burned down, when they do not burn down one house or town after the other, they are torturing someone to death. And you think these are the type of people we should go back and live with? Never again. Never again will it happen. In the early 90s, Nigerian activist and human rights crusader Ken Saro-Wiwa saw the injustice meted against his Ogoni people by the European multinationals and by the Nigerian military dictatorships. When Sani Abacha's military junta in Nigeria arrested Ken Saro-Wiwa, and asked him to choose between life and death, Ken Saro-Wiwa refused to choose life in a situation where his people remain in bondage. The Nigerian government sentenced and killed Saro-Wiwa by hanging. But today, Ogoni land in Nigeria, thanks to the ultimate sacrifice of Ken Saro-Wiwa, has forever been transformed, and the rights of the indigenous people over their resources have been restored. When we say here that we will live free or die, this is exactly what we mean. La République du Cameroon cannot continue. La République du Cameroon can continue to burn down our towns and burn down our villages, burn down innocent people, and kill people like Tindong Pierre. But let them know this: we are not turning back. We will not surrender. We will not renege. Not until the Southern Cameroon is a free country. Every time a town or village and a palace like that of the Font of Fontaine is burnt down, it only adds petrol on the fire. Cut my fingers and the fingers of those who will sign any settlement with La République du Cameroon if they should agree to take us back to live with the savages in that country called French Cameroon. Again, this interim government isn't looking back. Let Yaounde know this and stop wasting its resources fighting a war they will not win. We are not giving up, not until our flag is permanently erected at the Mongo, in Santa, bordering Mbunda and the northern zone, and of course, most importantly, at the foot of the mountain in Boya. And I have no doubt that God will help us. Now, we want everyone to take this intelligence urgently and seriously, especially if you are living anywhere in the towns or villages, the areas I am going to mention here. The interim government has received information to the effect that Yaounde plans to bomb targeted bushes and forest areas in Batibo, in Widekum, in the BLM and some Mamfe areas. They claim that the spots they are targeting are hideouts for terrorists. However, I should make it very clear here that Ambazonia has no homegrown terrorists in our territories, towns or villages. The only terrorists we have seen are those who have burned down towns and villages and brutally slaughtered our people. The only terrorists we have seen are those who have driven thousands of residents into hiding into the bushes. And those terrorists, their outfits, their dressing, their makeups indicate that they are from French Cameroon, not Ambazonia. The interim government is calling upon every Ambazonian in the targeted areas, again, of Batibo, Widekum, Lebialem, Mamfe area, to constantly change their locations and stay on the alert to avoid being bombed or gassed to death. In fact, We are also hearing that one of the tactics that French Cameroon plans on using to kill our people in the bushes is to gas them with a kind of gas that killed thousands of people in Lake Nyos, 1986. Once the gas is released from the helicopters, people will simply sniff it and then die. Fellow Ambazonians, if you live in ground zero, you all need to be very, very vigilant in the coming days, because since La République du Cameroon has realized that Ambazonia restoration forces are fearless and too powerful for them, they have also decided to embark on using grenades to cause maximum damage and increase civilian casualties. Everyone on ground zero, whether in the northern zone or in the southern zone, this message is for you. This is one of the tactics that La République du Cameroon plans to employ. Now listen to this. In another diabolical move, they plan to send soldiers disguised as civilians into our communities to mingle freely with the population and pretend to be normal citizens. They will do this by opening corner shops or off license or provision stores, and some will pretend to be pastors. The vast majority of the infiltrators will pretend to be bike riders or Okada riders, and they will try to infiltrate the Ambazonia restoration forces and find out their hiding places to report to Yaounde. Please, make sure you remain very, very observant in your various communities, and look out to ensure there are no newcomers or strangers pretending to mingle among you. They will also try to get information from your community by asking people questions about the revolution. That means you got to be careful who you talk to, who you are conversing about the revolution with. If you say, for instance, anything that may lead to your, if you say, for instance, anything, it may lead to your arrest. Avoid talking to unknown people in drinking spots, and make sure you know everyone sitting around you. They also plan on using young girls to seduce our men and then tap information from them. Be very, very cautious when dealing with young girls. Most of the deadliest spies are girls. We should take this into consideration. The République du Cameroon has also planned in the coming days to switch off phone connections to make sure that Ambazonians in the home front cannot communicate. This means that you should start looking for other ways of communication right now as I speak to you. Watch out for La République du Cameroon cars. They will come with cars that come disguised as clandos, with no number plates, or some of the cars without number plates, but full of military personnel not wearing uniforms. They are fully armed, and we attack our people or attack you and attack our boys once they reach control points or checkpoints. What I am giving you here is actual intelligence. It is not fabricated. We have received, and everyone should take it seriously. It has been brought to the attention of your interim government also that La République du Cameroon is launching a series of so-called concours just for Southern Cameroonians. Ask yourself, when was the last time that La République du Cameroon launch a concours just for Southern Cameroonians. When last did they do that? These are not concours. They are fundraisers. They just want to use it to raise money, raise funds through which through fiscal stamps, and they would then turn around to use the money to fund the war against us. Please tell everybody interested not to register for any concours or concours organized by Rebroadcast Cameroon. They have thousands of contract teachers out there. They have not been recruited yet. And they have millions of workers out there. They cannot even pay them. Why do you think they are about to give anyone a job that they will pay? We look forward to our own country, where no one will have to write a concours to get a job. That is what is called Anglo-Saxonism. Fellow Ambazonians, the stakes of the revolution at this moment are very, very high. Very, very high. Your interim government continues on a weekly basis to take new measures aimed at facilitating and quickening our arrival in Boya. And today, I come to you to announce some of those decisions, very, very important decisions that the interim government has taken. Number one, 20th May celebrations are a no-no in Ambazonia. They have been banned and will forever remain banned. Anybody or group of persons or institutions spotted making any form of preparations for 20th May celebrations in our territory, Ambazonia, will be considered enemies of the revolution, and of course, will be declared persona non grata in our territory. All schools, colleges, and universities are called upon to remain closed with immediate effect. That is number two. If any school that is open at their own risk. Schools in Bamenda, Victoria, Boya, Kumba, Mamfe, Kumbo, to take particular note. Number three, very important, all landlords in Ambazonia harboring colonial administrators of French Cameroon origin to send them packing letters at the end of this month. Ambazonians are called upon to report any landlord who hosts any colonial administrator past the end of this month in his or her residence or house. Number four, with immediate effect, Ambazonians are called upon to end all taxation that is paid to the colonial government in Yaounde. All taxes should be directed to supporting the revolution. You can easily get on the website www.mytriptoboya.com to make your payment, or you can call me directly using this number. That is, if you are on ground zero, the number is 603-682-2687. Again, 603-682-2687 to make your payment. Number five, the interim government has banned the selling of food and drinks to LRC military men and women and administrators. You do so at your risk. Number six, all French signs and the use of the French language in the southern Cameroons is with immediate effect banned. You find signs written in French in any office, any workplace or public place in the southern Cameroons, you are acting within the law to hurriedly take them down. Number seven, the exploration of our timber and other natural resources, including those that Sonora, the CDC, Del Monte, Supermont, Pamo, and others are engaged in, is from today declared illegal, and they are called upon to cease exploration. You are under monitor. And lastly, number 8. Lastly, not the least, however, all francophones living in the southern Cameroons are called upon to go back to their respective regions. They have until the end of this month to do so. Ambazonians will not be held responsible for anything that happens to them. Ambazonians living in French Cameroon are equally advised to leave, as this interim government cannot guarantee protection for any Ambazonian living in La République du Cameroon. This is a difficult decision the interim government took, and we took it with all consequences, taking into consideration the interim government isn't against any French Cameroon citizen. Most of them are equally victims as Ambazonians are. However, perhaps if they should leave, they will have to fight for their own country while we fight for our own. Francophones will always be welcome to Ambazonia once we have actualized our independence. Until then, they have until the end of this month, the end of this May, to leave our territory, our country. Fellow Ambazonians, please permit me to talk to you about an issue that I raised. An issue that has raised a lot of dust the last time I spoke about it. It is a concern that I deem very, very critical, if not the most critical thing at this moment in our revolution. About a month or so ago, what is today called the Ambazonia Self-Defense Council was born, formed by groups concerned about unity and collaboration. Unless I'm mistaken, the objective behind the ASC, Ambazonia Self-Defense Council, which is an independent group from the interim government, was to bring all defense groups in ground zero under that umbrella, not necessarily to assimilate them, but to collaborate with them in their operations in ground zero. The ASC has since gone operational, and quite a handful of groups, especially the emerging groups. In fact, I would say almost every emerging group in ground zero has become part of the ASC. The ASC continues to make effort, tremendous effort, to bring others on board, every other group on board. However, some groups have since day one refused to be part of the collaborative initiative for no justifiable reasons. The ASC was created independent of the interim government to give it the boost and the leverage to be able to galvanize all these other groups to come into the collaborative platform. But so far, these other groups have chosen to operate and do their own things their own way. But this isn't the problem. The problem is, how many self-defense groups would we end up with? Or would we end up having on ground zero without some form of regulation? I made this point in my last State of the Revolution presentation, and it attracted quite a chunk of criticism, mostly from detractors but also from among us. I believe my articulation was poor, and as a result, it was misunderstood. But here is why the stakes are high for all the groups, not some of the groups, but all of the groups, to be compelled to work together or collaboratively. I believe that when you are making history, you should look back at history so as to avoid or prevent historical mistakes. Our memories should still be very, very fresh of the Liberian Civil War that led to the killing of Samuel Doe. In fact, it started with the killing of Samuel Doe, actually. Samuel Doe's rebellion was led by Charles Taylor. But the moment they got rid of Samuel Doe, they turned into factions, each of them claiming legitimacy over the presidency of Liberia. It led into a long-fought civil war in Liberia. After killing Samuel Doe, you would think that Liberia was going to go into a period of peace and security. No, it didn't. It descended into chaos, and thousands of citizens left into refugee camps. It is my prayer and that of this interim government that we should never have to witness this in Ambazonia. But the only way to prevent this is to start doing certain things now to forestall it. And how do we stop it, or how do we do that? By making it a must for all restoration forces in Ground Zero to come under a single platform that the ASC is offering. That platform has been created. Does this mean that the ASC forces or threatens others with punitive consequences to sing with it? Of course, absolutely not. Remember that this is called a collaborative initiative, not necessarily an amalgamation. Number one, note this. Not collaborating leaves many chances of groups confronting or clashing with each other on the ground, as groups may not know which other group is fighting at same locality with them. Number two, groups, including Atanganjis, they do not wear uniforms. And so the possibility of identifying infiltrators become really low and could lead to unnecessary killings. Number three, collaboration will ensure discipline and prevent a situation where an individual leader decides to take the laws into his hands, either by killing or taking lives or ransoms. The importance of this collaboration cannot be overemphasized. And these are the importance. Number one, it guards against a scenario where the war is over, but some don't want to lay down their sticks. Number two, it prevents a warlord scenario in Ground Zero. Number three, a collaborative platform creates accountability where the peanuts are accounted for and surrendered to the central authority once the war is over. And number four, a collaborative platform stops a situation where fighters crisscross from one group to the other, a stealing of ship situation. And number five, it also prevents proliferation of peanuts and sticks after the war is over. And above all, number six, it guarantees peace and tranquility after fighting is over. This can be done if all of us, all of you out there watching and listening to me at the sound of my voice right now, if all of us will press on all self-defense leaders as a matter of a must to agree to collaborate, they keep their priests, if any, but also take up positions in the Executive Council of the ASC where decisions are made, where they too can participate in decision making. This way, no group feels left out or is just seen as taking decisions from the top. We can all make this to happen to save our revolution. I call upon you on behalf of the interim government to take this message to every self-defense group out there. If they cannot collaborate, let all of us tell them to stay off of ground zero. It is for your interest and my interest and the interest of our country, our new country, that these collaborative platforms work. We must push it on, and we must live free or die. And before I end this broadcast, I'd like to remind all of us that this week, actually tomorrow, Mancho BBC will be taken to court for sentencing. We have no guarantee that La République du Cameroon is going to free him. They actually vindicated him of some charges, but then convicted him on others. We do not know what the decision tomorrow is going to be. But I want to assure our comrade Mancho BBC, whom I believe should be watching at me right now, listen, your freedom does not depend on La République du Cameroon. Your freedom depends upon Ambazonians. And as you go before that court tomorrow, be not moved by any decision coming out of there. Should they put you in their gulags, rest assured, in a few days, in a few months to come, you will be sitting in one of the highest places in the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. Courage to you, brother, and courage to all of you who have been sentenced and you are in jail, the penitents of the world. Courage, know that we are looking out for you. Good evening. Thanks for watching. God bless. God bless Ambazonia.